Hello, this is Mark Satterfield, and welcome to the Velvet Rope Playbook. Tonight's chapter, The Digital Dating Game. What Raya teaches us about selling to the select few. You probably know someone who's on Raya. You just don't know they're on Raya, because no one talks about it, not if they want to stay inside. It's the dating app that isn't about dating. It's not about swiping, and it's definitely not about availability. It's about access, exclusivity, proximity to status. And for those of us who work with or want to work with the ultra-wealthy, Raya isn't just an app. It's a blueprint, not for technology, for positioning. Now, before we go further, if you want to become the kind of service provider who the wealthy seek out, not because you are the cheapest or the most available, but because your presence signals something, then go to getwealthyclients.com. That's where you'll find my Amazon #1 bestsellers like the Affluent Marketing Blueprint and the Velvet Rope Playbook, and private strategy tools to help you stop chasing clients and start curating them. Because what Raya has built digitally, you can build in your business if you understand the game. So let's begin. Raya doesn't advertise. You don't get in with a download. You apply. You wait. You hope. But what's fascinating isn't the process. It's the effect. See, Raya isn't really a dating service. It's a status filter wrapped in a UX design that feels like a dream sequence in a Coppola film. Once you're in, your feed looks like something out of a curated issue of Vanity Fair meets Dazed. You see a film producer in Paris, an architect in Tokyo, a model who just casually tagged a villa in Lake Como. But here's the trick. Raya profiles aren't overt. They're suggestive. You're not told what makes these people important. You're invited to feel it. This is intentional, because Raya knows that the most desirable clients in the world don't respond to marketing. They respond to mystique. And if you sell high-end services, that should stop you cold. Because how many of your Instagram posts explain what you do? How many of your emails over-explain your value? Meanwhile, Raya seduces without words. Let me introduce you to Maxine Rowley. She's a personal branding consultant, but not the kind with a funnel and a launch countdown. Maxine works exclusively with second-generation wealth, children of billionaires mostly, quietly preparing them for board positions, press moments, or succession transitions. She has no social media, no website, and no podcast. Her brand? A leather-bound portfolio courier to the assistant of the decision-maker with a card that reads, "Elegance is when you never have to ask who handled it." That's it. Maxine learned from Raya. She didn't copy the app. She understood the energy. If they have to ask who you are, they shouldn't be allowed to buy from you. Now, let's dig into the psychology. Most service providers market like everyone is searching for them, but elite clients aren't browsing. They're filtering. Raya's algorithm doesn't just match profiles. It screens for cultural fluency. Do you move in the right circles? Do you show the right cues? Do you give off the feeling that you get it? That's the same subconscious checklist the wealthy apply when choosing who to trust. Does this person understand discretion? Will they reflect well on me? Can I refer them without risk? That's what you're really selling. Not strategy, not access, not help. You're selling belonging. Now, back to Raya. You'd think its power comes from the celebrities, but that's not it. The real power is in the shared context. Everyone inside the app assumes we speak the same language. We value the same references. We're equally unbothered by price. That's the magic. It's not hierarchy. It's harmony. Everyone feels slightly above average, so there's no awkwardness, no explaining, no trying. It's quiet ego at scale. And that's exactly what elite clients want from you. They want to feel like your world already knows theirs. There's a man in Miami Christian Vega. On paper, he's a financial advisor, but that's not what people say about him. They say, he's our guy. He works with ultra-high net worth artists, crypto people, and legacy wealth types who got bored of legacy advisors. He doesn't talk performance, he talks aesthetic positioning. He once helped a client organize their art purchase schedule around a family office liquidity strategy. It wasn't just smart, it was beautiful. Christian learned to sell feeling first, and he credits Raya for the insight. He was never on it, but he studied it. And he realized if your presence creates a feeling of elevated intimacy, you never have to sell again. Now, quick sidebar. If you're listening to this and realizing you've been marketing like a street vendor trying to get the attention of someone stepping into a Bentley, well, I can help you. At getwealthyclients.com, I've laid out the exact blueprint for service providers who want to position themselves above the fray. Books, trainings, scripts, all built to help you feel like someone the wealthy would introduce, not just hire. That's getwealthyclients.com. Now, back to the game. Raya punishes neediness. If you're thirsty, gone. If you're a screenshot, gone. If you act like the platform owes you something, you never hear back. Because true exclusivity can't tolerate insecurity. Your clients feel the same way. The moment you over-follow up, the moment you show just checking in energy, well, you're out. Not because you weren't qualified, but because you didn't understand the tempo. Elite circles move on energy, pacing, vibe. You have to match it, or they'll decide you're not one of them. So, let's land with this. Raya isn't popular because it's functional. It's not even particularly innovative from a tech standpoint. It works because it understands psychology better than almost any service provider ever will. It knows that privacy is power, belonging is bought, not begged for, and access is currency, but only when everyone outside wants in. And if you want to build a brand that works in that same space, it's not about shouting louder. It's about moving quieter, sharper, smarter. Build something that whispers power. Design your offer so it looks like a side door, not a sales page. Create a business that elite clients talk about in low tones and recommend with reverence, because in that world, being known by the right people is worth more than being followed by 50,000. One last time, getwealthyclients.com is where this all becomes real. And if you're a consultant, advisor, strategist, or creative working with affluent individuals or want to break into that world, look, don't stop selling like you're on Main Street. You need a new toolkit. The books, the programs, the vault, it's all waiting for you at getwealthyclients.com. Don't knock on the front door. Build something that's invitation only. That's the Raya way. And it works. This is Mark Satterfield. Thanks for listening to this chapter of the Velvet Rope Playbook. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.